Hey guys, I want to talk to you a minute about when you get a new team member and new developer, and it seems like they're not turning in work that you would expect. I was talking with Mike today, and Mike's a relatively new team lead, and he got some work from a person who was pretty fresh out of school, first assignment, and his gut said, this isn't what I expected, and you know what? So I'll just go fix it. So that's what Mike did. Mike went in and he fixed it. He fixed the work. He did another commit, and then he told the person, "Hey, here's what I've done," because Mike wants to be a good boss. He didn't just fix it and commit it and move on. He said, "Hey, I did this. Go check it out and learn from it, and then try and do it that way the next time." And I applaud Mike's heart. I applaud that Mike is trying to give feedback. Unfortunately, it's not very useful feedback. If you could imagine you were a brand new developer, new to the job, and you're given an assignment, and it wasn't done the way that, and your boss simply went in and changed it. I really don't care if it's development or writing or design or making a hamburger. Having somebody else change your work really sucks. Okay? So the first thing is, I had to tell Mike that every time he changed somebody else's work, he was robbing them and him of an opportunity for that person to improve. When I asked Mike, what's your goal in having this person on? Because it's a really small shop and this is a pretty new hire. He said, well, I wanted to scale myself. I wanted to, Mike's the owner. He says, I wanted to scale myself and bring in somebody who could do this kind of work. But boy, I just don't know if I'm ever going to find somebody who does it like me. And I said, well, how do you know if it's done well? And of course, his response was, I can just tell. I'm good at this, and so I can just tell if it's done well or done poorly, and that sort of thing. And I said, so I think what you need to do, and this was my advice, and I wanted to share it with you. I said, Mike, what you need to do is you need to ask yourself how much of an investment can you afford to make in a junior person, where we give them a lot of feedback, where we give them a lot of opportunities to improve. How long can you afford to do that? And he said, I think at this rate, I could afford it for 5 months. And I said, okay, so over 5 months is your investment period. How many dollars? And he told me, how many dollars? I said, okay, so over 5 months, you feel like you could invest X number of dollars. And if at the end of 5 months, you will evaluate things. And if things are, like if you see an improvement, then you'll say, great, this is working. But if you don't, then you'll just stop. You'll say, this is the most I could invest in this. Now, this is just one way to structure your developer investing. And he liked that. And then I said, okay, the second thing you have to do, Mike, is I says, because right now your gut knows when you see something you like, when it's done right or wrong. And he used words like, yeah, it's crufty, or, that kind of had these code smells. And I said, that's completely unclear to anybody, to everybody, to be frank. It's completely unclear feedback. So you've got to move those specific things you're looking for from your stomach to your head. And out from your head, then they can come out your mouth or your hands as you write them down. I said, you've got to codify what you expect from this person and how their work did not meet your standards. For example, if you just went to them and said, I don't think you're really a very good developer, I don't think this is going to work out. You could do that, but that person wouldn't learn anything. At that point, you've decided there's no more investment to be made that you're comfortable with. In Mike's case, he really wants to have somebody who can do the work as well as he can, and he really wants to be a good boss. And I applaud that. As he said, I've worked for a lot of bad bosses that just went in and changed my stuff, and I hate that. And I said, okay, Mike, but aren't you doing that? And he said, and he didn't quite realize he was saying this. He said, well, that's just kind of how things work, right? That's the deep end of the pool. You better develop a pretty thick skin. So to Mike and to so many other people out there who think that because they were treated poorly, everyone should be treated poorly, I'd like to just advocate for the developer on your team who's struggling, who's new, and who really needs feedback more than they need you to just fix it. Decide how long you want to invest in it and get that sense out of your stomach, which is doesn't really what I was hoping for here. Oh, it's hard to read, it's crufty, whatever. And bring it into your head and start writing the principles and think about the principles you work by. This is Marcus with MarcusBlankenship.com. I hope that you continue to just work on your technical leadership skills. And if you're going to Velocity in San Jose, I'll see you in about a week. Thanks. Bye-bye.